Welcome back to the second module of Producing a Business Plan. In today's module, we're going to be looking at matching your new venture opportunity to what are the market needs. Here are the different module outcomes for this module. All right, now matching a new venture opportunity to the market needs. Firstly, your new venture will hopefully add value to the community and other people's lives. The trick lies in finding that niche. What is that essential gap where you can actually fit into the market? Because these days there are so many types of different businesses out there. It's important to make sure that you find that special niche in that market. The market that you need to look at is a potential market, not the actual market that's being served. The one that's limited to your existing customers, so where there is actually a real need. You need to look wider than just the people that you already reach. It's also people that you might someday reach or people that you could reach that you must also concentrate on. So you're looking at who could be your future and prospective clients as well, not just your existing. What marketing is in relation to new venture opportunities? Simply put, marketing consists of determining the need for a product or a service for a particular market and then setting a competitive price when you are selling. Marketing methods and knowledge thereof ultimately is a manner in which to reach customers to make them aware what the business has available. And obviously, the setting of a competitive price is obviously a very difficult thing to ascertain because you never quite know, do you want to overprice or underprice the product or the market that you're actually going to be going into. The principles and skills of marketing. Marketing is all about selling a product or a service to your customers. You may have a very good product, but if you don't have customers to buy the product, then your business obviously will not be successful. Obviously, this is where marketing is important. You have to let your customers know that you have this wonderful product. And if they don't know about it, obviously, they cannot buy it. You also have to let your customers know what is the price of that product is going to be. Now, let's look at this, what the concept of marketing, which includes what the 4 Ps are of marketing. Those 4 Ps of marketing is firstly products. For example, what the hawker sells, what any person is going to be selling. The price. Obviously, the price is what they're going to be selling in order for them to make a profit. The place. Where are you going to be selling your products? Obviously, location is an important part of actually where you're going to be selling. Because if you don't have the right place to sell or the venue to sell, then obviously people are not going to be purchasing. Promotion. The market of the actual product. How you're going to bring your products to the attention of people who might be willing to buy. Please read pages 33 to 44 in your learner guide regarding these 4 Ps of marketing. Now, let's look at product cycle or service life cycle. First, we look at firstly, the products or services will have a definite life cycle, just like people do. The product is firstly developed. It is then introduced, competes in the market, becomes mature, and eventually is taken off the market. And this is for most products, you're going to see that there is a life cycle. Obviously, when a new product comes onto the circuit, everybody is enthusiastic and want to purchase it. But after a few years, it might be that now that product has now reached its sell-by date, and it's time to look at new, fresher products which can come onto the market to replace it. Steps to consider. Firstly, you need to identify and explain what are the different growth opportunities for a new venture. And that obviously is done by doing comprehensive research. Then monitor what are the trends and developments in relation to the product and service. And that you can only do by also doing research within the market. And it's not just going to be local, it could also be in the global market. Make plans also to ensure that the business venture is aligned to the product and service life cycle. It doesn't help that the products that you bring out only has a life cycle of about 1 month. You actually want to ensure that there is sustainability and longevity of the actual products that you're going to be selling. Now, identifying what are the market segments in relation to the own new venture opportunities. Firstly, only a percentage of the general population will actually buy your products or use your services. So the more accurately you can actually focus on them, the less your efforts will be wasted. This is why it's important to also understand when you are doing marketing, who is your target market? Are you going to be going for the youth, middle-aged people, or even the older group of population? It's also a good idea not to aim too widely with your targets, so to avoid spreading your resources too thinly. If you try and cater for the whole population, you might be ending up wasting too much money for those markets which might not be interested. What you also need to do is separate your customers, who actually make up a large general markets into maybe smaller groups based on selected characteristics or variables. Also, you need to analyze what is your own product or service requirements in relation to identify the target market. Segment customers according to your business goals. So that's easy to understand. So you might, for example, know that if you're going to be selling certain types of foods, who would be your target market? Identify and analyze the competition to determine the threats that they may present. And that is obviously important because you don't want to end up with your competitors are taking away your customers. Lastly, to identify and explain the changes that may be required to actually increase competitiveness of new ventures in accordance with your competitor analysis and market research. So if your competitors are bringing out these new, if you want to enroll, for example, at a new company or take out a new product and they're giving away free airtime, you would also need to consider with your product that you actually on launch, do you also give free airtime and maybe something like data as well, or even cell phones or tablets, which would go along to enticing your customers to actually take out your product instead of your competitors. Conducting the actual market research. Your business cannot survive without sales and customers. Before you start or grow your business, you need to make sure that your product or service will actually sell. Your potential market is large enough and that there will be a long-term demand for your product or service. This will involve you looking carefully into the area that you wish to place your product and needs you to do some research. The importance of actually doing market research in relation to proposed new venture. The market research is imperative for a company to actually know what type of products or services would be profitable to introduce a market. Else it would be a waste of time to actually go into the market if you're actually not going to be making a profit. Good market research enables a company to know if it has been able to satisfy the customer needs and also whether any changes need to be made in the packaging, the delivery, or the actual product itself. This is why it's important to make sure that proper research is actually done. This also enables a company to formulate a viable market plan or measure the success of its existing plan. Also, let's identify what are the different market research techniques. You can do market research either in a formal or informal manner through the following types of techniques. Basic questionnaires. Now, if you're going to send questionnaires out to prospective clients or even existing clients, you have to ensure that these are not long-winded questionnaires and people would actually want to participate in order for you to give, and the important thing is that when you use these questionnaires, you want honest feedback. If you make your questionnaires too long, people will ignore it and not actually participate. So make sure that the questions that you actually ask are to the point and actually relevant to the actual products that you actually need to do research on. Of course, is community research. That is important because they are the ones that are actually going to be supporting you. You also need to identify, is based on the research that you've done amongst your community, is there an actual need for your products within that community? Then intelligent gathering exercises. That is where you can actually go out and do research via the social media to actually see, is there actually any other types of products which might need to be, which based on the products you want to be selling, do you actually meet those needs of those people? Then, once you've identified your methods of gathering information, you have to put together your questionnaire. You have to conduct then the market research. This could be done by maybe an interview, a telephone, or even observing customers. Utilizing market research findings to determine the viability of a new venture. Now that you've gathered all the information, you now have to do something with it. So you need to analyze the feedback that you received. Remember we said either questionnaires, observing, or interacting with the clients. The only reason you actually went to all the trouble of actually conducting the market research is that you actually want the information, so that you can analyze information and use it to benefit a new venture, else it would have been a pointless exercise. Once you have all the information, you have to organize it, summarize it, simplify the information, and then so you can actually make sense of it. Then incorporate the market research into your marketing plan. The marketing plan is the plan which a business needs if it actually wants to succeed in the marketplace. It can also be said that the marketing plan is the result of planning the marketing process. You actually have to decide what are your business goals and objectives are. You have to put this into writing, and then you have to think critically about your new venture. This is obviously done when you can identify and create the competitive edge of your venture. And this is why you can actually see if you actually will make an impact into the market or not. Creating a market plan for your own new venture. Firstly, you would need to have the following sections in your marketing plan. An introduction, basically why the actual market research was done. What is the current marketing situation, if there is actually any? Description of the actual market you're going to be entering. Details of the products you hope to actually enter into the market. Who would be your competitors? And obviously, when you do that, you're going to be analyzing what threats they would actually pose to you, also, and how you would actually counter those threats. Then, analyze the business environment. That would go with the previous point of your competitors as well. And then, you do your final marketing analysis. Outline and implementation action goals with timeframes to actually implement this marketing plan. In order to successfully implement your marketing plan, you actually need to create a time frame for both the overall strategy and for each individual step that you're going to follow. The action plans are designed to actually answer the following questions. For example, what will be done? When will it be done? Who is going to do it? And obviously, how much will it actually cost? These are important questions that do need to be answered and addressed in your marketing plan. To evaluate actually the success of your marketing plan. Now, to actually evaluate the success of your marketing plan, you'll need to realize that the ultimate function of marketing is to increase sales and improve the bottom line, which is your profitability. The connection between marketing and a sale may not always be direct, but all marketing activities should have that goal in mind. So how else would you actually be doing that in the first place? So how would you actually measure the results? Based on your sales figures, and obviously what is your business profits? Once you scrutinize, for example, your competition and analyze regarding what is going on in your segmented area, you might actually find that some strategies might need to be changed. Remember, the marketing plan is a living document, so it is always there to be changed. It's never cast in stone. It is always open to change. This is done periodically as the market is changing, regardless of what your original plans might be. Please complete class activity 2 in your workbook. Thank you.